If you're thinking about starting at the gym, the first thing you need to know is don't rush it. A lot of people think the goal is to lift as much weight as possible right away, but that's a big mistake. In the beginning, what really matters is learning how to train properly, getting to know your body, and understanding how it reacts to each exercise. Training isn't just about sweating or feeling sore. It's about building a solid foundation so you can make real progress safely. When you walk into a gym for the first time, everything feels new. The machines, the movements, the weird names of exercises, and it's totally okay to feel lost. What matters most is having the right mindset from start. You're not there to compete with anyone or impress anyone. Your focus should be on mastering the basics and doing them right. Don't worry about lifting heavy now. Worry about understanding what you're doing and doing it well. Starting slow is the key to avoiding injuries and disappointment. So many people quit the gym within the first few weeks because they go too hard too soon, get sore, or feel frustrated when they don't see instant results. But if you're patient and understand that progress takes time, the results will come, and they'll be much more solid. So tell me, have you ever started training and ended up quitting? What made you lose motivation? Drop it in the comments, because we'll be diving deep into that throughout the video. And right off the bat, have you ever heard of something called neuromuscular adaptation? It sounds technical, but it's actually super important when you're just starting out. It basically means teaching your brain how to talk to your muscles. At first, your body doesn't really know what's going on. The brain sends signals, but they're kind of messy, which is why your movements might feel stiff, awkward, or just plain hard. But don't worry, that's totally normal. In the beginning, lifting weights is more about learning than strength. Think of your brain like a conductor and your muscles like the orchestra. At first, it's all out of sync, but the more you train, the more in tune everything becomes. Your body starts to learn which muscles to use, how to balance the weight, and how to keep the movement stable. This progress happens even without increasing the weight. You just need to practice the movement the right way over and over. That's why those first few workouts are all about improving this brain-to-muscle connection. The more focused your practice, the more efficient your body becomes. And the coolest part? As this connection improves, your strength naturally increases, even without adding weight. Has that ever happened to you? That moment when suddenly an exercise that felt impossible becomes way easier? That's your brain and muscles finally syncing up, and it's just the beginning. When you start working out, it's not just about building strength. Your body also needs to learn how to move with coordination. If you've never done that type of movement before, your muscles aren't working together yet. It's like learning a dance routine. The first few tries are all over the place, but with practice and focus, things start to flow. Weight training is the same. You have to teach your body to move in a controlled and efficient way. That's why in the beginning, your focus should be on mastering the movement, not loading up the weight. It might be tempting to lift heavy right away, but that'll just get in the way. If your form is off, you might end up using the wrong muscles or even hurting yourself. It's way better to train in front of a mirror. Check your posture, listen to your trainer's cues, and repeat until your body gets it right. A lot of people think they're doing great just because they felt the burn, but that doesn't always mean the exercise was done correctly. Feeling the muscle work is important, yes, but with awareness, control, and stability. Have you ever tried doing an exercise slowly and noticed how much harder it feels? That's your motor control kicking in. Let me know in the comments. Which exercise do you find the hardest to do with perfect form? I'd love to hear your take. During the first 3 months at the gym, most people want quick results. But the real secret is building a strong foundation. In the beginning, the best approach is to use lighter weights, do more reps, and focus on flawless execution. You don't need a huge workout plan with a million different exercises. A simple routine with a few well-executed movements is worth way more than a long, sloppy workout. This phase is kind of like learning how to drive. Before you hit the gas, you need to get full control of the car. It's the same with your muscles. Your workouts should be simple, but well thought out. You're going to repeat the same exercises a lot, slowly, paying attention to your form, pace, and breathing. That's what helps your body lock in the correct movement patterns, and that can save you a lot of trouble down the line. quality comes before quantity when it comes to lifting weight. So if you leave the gym thinking, I didn't do much because you didn't sweat buckets or feel shaky, that's totally fine. This phase is about technique and light conditioning, not burning out or going to failure every time. It's normal to feel hyped when you first start training, and honestly, that's a good thing. The problem is when that hype turns into a rush to lift heavy. That's one of the most common mistakes beginners make, trying to see results too fast and ending up injured. Your body is still learning and adapting to these movements, and pushing too hard too soon is just asking for pain. Literally. Injuries can show up within the first few weeks, especially in your joints or lower back. A lot of people think the heavier the weight, the better the workout. But that's a dangerous myth. If you don't have solid technique, adding too much weight leads to all sorts of compensations. One muscle tries to help another, your form breaks down, and that's when injuries creep in. Sometimes you don't feel the pain right away. It builds up little by little, and by the time you notice, you're already dealing with a serious issue. Is that risk really worth it? That's why it's so important to respect your pace. Training with awareness is training smart. Your progress will come naturally if you give your body the time it needs. Have you ever pushed yourself too hard at the beginning and later regretted it? Another big issue. You've probably heard of bad movement habits, right? They're just like any bad habit. Once your body learns the wrong way to do an exercise, fixing it later is a pain. And the worst part? Most of the time, you don't even realize you're doing it wrong because your body gets used to it. That's why learning proper form from day one is one of the most important things you can do to see real results and avoid injuries. Training with poor form doesn't just put your joints at risk. It also makes your workout less effective. In other words, you can get hurt and not hit your goal, whether it's building muscle, improving endurance, or getting leaner. Your body starts creating bad movement patterns, and fixing that months later can take 3 times as long. So listen to your coach, use the mirror, and pay attention to the little details. Don't be embarrassed to use lighter weights if it means doing the movement right. Your future self will thank you, and so will your trainers. One of the coolest things about starting your fitness journey is noticing how fast your strength seems to grow. Even using light weights, you start to feel like the exercises aren't as hard anymore. There's a reason for that. Your brain's getting better at activating the right muscles at the right time. That's neuromuscular adaptation in action. And it's proof that you're on the right track. But watch out. This quick progress can be tricky. A lot of beginners think they're strong enough to double the weight. But really, it's your brain getting better at the movement, not your muscles suddenly ready for a big load. That's the trap. Getting excited and throwing on too much weight too early can actually slow down your progress. Or worse, cause an injury. The best thing to do is use this phase to lock in your technique and build confidence. Your strength will keep growing, but now with way more quality behind it. Have you felt that boost in your first workouts? Okay, now we're getting somewhere feeling? Ride that momentum, just do it responsibly. If this video helped you or made you see your workouts from a new perspective, don't forget to hit that like button. It shows me the content's working and motivates me to bring you more tips like this. And of course, if you're not subscribed yet, now's the time. Click that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any new videos.